My wife announced, "I've been recording everything for my lawyer." Threateningly, I said, "Me too." When her lawyer heard her admitting to tax fraud on those same recordings, the case took a turn that I, 38 male, had been married to Bethany, 35, for 7 years. The last 2 were rough. Not gonna sugarcoat it, we were heading for divorce. We both knew it. The only question was who'd file first and how ugly it would get. Bethany ran a small online boutique selling handmade jewelry. Started as an Etsy shop, grew into its own website. I was genuinely proud of her for building something from nothing. What I wasn't proud of was her creative approach to taxes. Just pay cash for everything, she'd tell her suppliers. No paper trail, no problems. "Beth, that's not how taxes work," I'd say. "Oh please, everyone does it. You think the IRS cares about my little shop?" Spoiler, they do. The marriage started falling apart for normal reasons. Growing apart, different life goals, dead bedroom. But what pushed it over the edge was her entitlement about money. See, I'm an accountant. I know how taxes work. And watching her brazenly commit tax fraud, while I literally worked at a firm that dealt with IRS audits, it was like watching someone juggle grenades. "I need you to stop putting the business income in our tax returns," she announced one day over breakfast. "What? Beth, we're married. We file jointly. I have to include it. Then we'll file separately. That'll cost us thousands in deductions. I don't care. My business, my rules." I started sleeping in the guest room after that fight. 3 months ago, I knew divorce was inevitable. That's when I made a decision that would later save my ass. I started recording our conversations, one-party consent state, completely legal. Just voice memos on my phone whenever we talked about anything serious. Why? Because Bethany had a habit of rewriting history. "I never said that," was her favorite phrase. Gaslight Central. The announcement came on a Tuesday. I'd just gotten home from work, exhausted from dealing with a client's audit nightmare. Bethany was in the kitchen, glass of wine in hand, smirking. "We need to talk," she said, "okay? I've been recording everything for my lawyer, every conversation, every argument, for months." She said it so smugly, like she'd just revealed a royal flush. "Everything?" I asked, keeping my voice neutral. "Everything. Every time you've yelled, every time you've been mean. My lawyer says it's going to make this divorce very favorable for me." I almost laughed. Almost. "Me too," I said simply. Her smirk faltered. "What? I've been recording too, for about 3 months now. You can't do that. That's illegal." One-party consent state, Beth. Same law that makes your recordings legal makes mine legal too. She went pale. I could see her racing, trying to remember what she'd said over the past months. "You're bluffing." I pulled out my phone, scrolled to a recent recording, hit play. Her voice filled the kitchen. "I swear to God, if that supplier reports those cash payments, I'll burn his shop down. 50,000 in cash last year and the idiot wants to give me receipts now?" I stopped the recording. She was frozen. That's out of context." "Is it? Should I play the one where you explain your whole cash-only scheme to your friend Trina? Or the one where you brag about hiding 60 grand from the IRS? You wouldn't dare. Wouldn't I? You just told me you're planning to use recordings in our divorce. Fair's fair." She threw the wine glass. It shattered against the wall behind me. Red wine everywhere. "Get out," she screamed. "Gladly. I'll be at a hotel. Have your lawyer call mine." As I packed a bag, she followed me around, ranting about invasion of privacy, about trust, about how I was the worst husband ever. I just kept packing, letting my phone record every word. Update 1: Bethany's lawyer, Mr. Fitzgerald, was one of those sharks who advertised on bus stops. Aggressive representation for women, his ads proclaimed. He called my lawyer, Miss Coleman, the next day. Coleman called me right after, laughing. "So, your wife's attorney just sent over 6 hours of recordings," she said, "demanding spousal support, the house, and half your 401k. Sounds about right. He also says you've been emotionally abusive and controlling. The recordings supposedly prove it." "Do they?" "I've listened to samples. You sound tired, not abusive. Mostly you're asking her to pay taxes and not commit fraud." "About that?" "Yeah, I listened to your recordings too. Holy shit, Roger. That bad?" She confesses to tax fraud at least a dozen times. Specific amounts, specific schemes. It's a prosecutor's dream. I don't want her arrested. I just want a fair divorce. Oh, honey, that ship might have sailed. If these recordings get submitted as evidence in divorce court, they become part of public record. The IRS has ways of finding these things. My stomach dropped. I hadn't thought that far ahead. What do? We negotiate, carefully. 2 days later, Bethany escalated. I got a call from my boss. Roger, I just got a very strange call from your wife. My heart sank. What did she say? She told me you've been stealing office supplies and using company resources for personal gain. What? That's insane. I know, but she also said you've been recording conversations at work illegally. Is that true? I've recorded conversations with her, at home, about our divorce, nothing at work, ever. I figured as much. Just wanted to give you a heads up, maybe work from home for a few days while this blows over. Thanks, Diane. I'm sorry about this. Don't be. My ex tried the same thing during my divorce. Stay strong. But Bethany wasn't done. That afternoon, she sent a group text to Joel know the truth about Roger. He's been secretly recording me for months, violating my privacy and trust. He's trying to use these illegal recordings to threaten me in our divorce. I'm scared and need your support. My phone blew up. My mom, my sister, my brother, all texting variations of WTF. I sent one group response. The recordings are legal. She's been recording me too. This is divorce tactics. Please stay out of it. Then I muted the thread. Coleman set up a meeting with Fitzgerald. I wasn't there, but she called me right after. So that was interesting, she said. Good interesting or bad interesting? Depends on your perspective. I played him a sample of your recordings. And? The tax fraud one, where she says she's hiding 60 grand. How'd he react? He asked for a recess. When he came back, his whole tune changed. Suddenly, Mr. Aggressive wants to talk settlement. That's good, right? Yes and no. He knows if those recordings go public, your wife is looking at federal charges. But here's the thing, he's still pushing for a big payout. How big? Half the house value, half your 401k, and 3 years of alimony. Is he high? He's betting you won't want to send your wife to prison, that you'll pay to keep this quiet. I thought about it. Really thought about it. The woman who was trying to destroy my reputation, who'd thrown a glass at me, who'd called my boss with lies. No deal, I said. You sure? This could get ugly. It's already ugly. I'm not paying her to avoid consequences for her own crimes. All right, I'll tell him we're prepared to submit all recordings as evidence. Update 2. Bethany lost her mind when she heard I wouldn't settle. The entitled behavior went into overdrive. First, she changed the locks on our house. I showed up to get more clothes and my key wouldn't work. I called Coleman. Is this legal? Absolutely not. You're on the deed. I'll file an emergency motion. While waiting for the court date, Bethany decided to sell my things. I found out when my buddy texted me a screenshot from Facebook Marketplace. My gaming console, my golf clubs, my watch collection, worth about $3 total, all listed as divorce sale. Everything must go. I commented on each listing. These items are stolen. I'm the legal owner and have not authorized this sale. She blocked me, but the damage was done. Most people backed out of buying. Then came the financial manipulation. She drained our shared checking account. Only about $2,000 was in there. We kept finances mostly separate. But it was the principal. Coleman filed more motions. The judge was not amused. Emergency hearing. Bethany showed up dressed like she was going to a funeral, complete with sunglasses indoors. The judge ordered her to return my property and give me access to the house. She also had to return half the money from the checking account. Your Honor, my client feels unsafe with him in the house, Fitzgerald argued. Then she can leave, the judge said. He's on the deed. He has every right to be there. Bethany started crying, loud, dramatic sobs. The judge wasn't moved. Ma'am, save the tears. This is a property dispute, not a soap opera. Back at the house, things got worse. Bethany had trashed my home office. Papers everywhere, computer monitor cracked, files deleted from my backup drives. I took photos of everything and started another recording. Beth, did you do this? It's my house too. I can do what I want. You destroyed my work computer. That's destruction of property. Prove it was me. You're literally admitting it right now, on recording. I don't care. You ruined my life, my business, everything. How did I ruin your business? You know what you did, telling everyone I don't pay taxes. I haven't told anyone anything, but you just admitted it again, on recording. She screamed and threw a lamp at me. I ducked, kept recording. Beth, you need help. I need you gone. This is my house. I built my business here. You're just some boring accountant who counts other people's money. I'm calling the police if you throw anything else. Call them. I'll tell them you've been abusing me. While I'm recording you destroying property and admitting to assault, she stormed out. I surveyed the damage, documented everything, and sent it all to Coleman. Update 3. The divorce discovery process is where everything went nuclear. Fitzgerald requested all my financial records. Standard stuff. But Coleman played hardball. We requested all of Bethany's business records too. Bethany panicked. Suddenly, Fitzgerald was calling about a settlement again. My client is willing to walk away with just the house, he offered. No, Coleman said. We want a clean split. 50-50 on all marital assets, no alimony. That's not going to work for my client. Then we'll see her business records in discovery. 2 days later, Bethany made a critical mistake. She called me directly, violating the lawyer's only communication rule. Roger, please, you don't understand what you're doing. I started recording. You shouldn't be calling me Beth. Shut up and listen. If you make me show those records, I'm ruined. The IRS will come after me. That's not my problem. I'll go to jail. Is that what you want? I want a fair divorce. You're the one who decided to threaten me with recordings and try to take everything. I was angry. You recorded me without telling me. You did the exact same thing. That's different. I was protecting myself. From what? Me asking you to pay taxes? You don't get it. I can't pay those taxes. I spent that money. It's gone. Where did $60,000 go, Beth? Inventory, supplies, advertising. I reinvested it without keeping any for taxes. I thought I'd make it back, but sales are down. Now you're in trouble. I'll lose everything. The business, the house, my freedom. Please, Roger, I'm begging you. What do you want me to do? Drop the request for records. Tell your lawyer to back off. I'll give you whatever you want in the divorce. Put it in writing, through your lawyer. I will. Thank you. Thank you. I stopped recording and immediately called Coleman. She just confessed to spending the tax money, all of it. On recording? Yep. Beautiful. Send it over. Final update. Bethany's written offer came through Fitzgerald the next day. She wanted to give me 75% of the house value, all of my 401k, no alimony claims, all personal property returned. In exchange, I'd dropped the discovery request for her business records. Coleman was suspicious. This is too generous. What's she hiding? Should we take it? Let me do some digging first. What Coleman found was worse than we thought. Public records showed Bethany's business had claimed COVID relief funds, PPP loans totaling $40,000, supposedly for employee payroll. Bethany had no employees. This isn't just tax fraud anymore, Coleman explained. This is federal loan fraud. She's looking at serious prison time if this comes out. Jesus. Yeah, so here's the question. Do you take her offer and walk away clean, or do we proceed with discovery? I thought about it for maybe 30 seconds. We proceed. You sure? You could walk away with a very favorable settlement. She tried to destroy my life, called my boss, turned my family against me, destroyed my property, and the whole time she was sitting on federal fraud. No, I'm not letting her buy her way out of this. Coleman smiled. All right then, let's proceed. Fitzgerald fought the discovery request hard, but the judge wasn't having it. Counselor, financial records are standard in divorce proceedings. If your client has nothing to hide, there's no issue. Bethany was ordered to produce 3 years of business records within 30 days. She never got the chance. 2 weeks later, Coleman called me. You're not going to believe this. What now? Bethany's been arrested. What? How? Remember that supplier she mentioned? The one she paid 50 grand in cash? Yeah, he got audited, and he rolled on her immediately. Gave the IRS everything, texts, emails, recorded conversations of his own. Holy shit. It gets better. The IRS found out about the PPP fraud during their investigation. They arrested her this morning. I sat down hard. Despite everything, I hadn't wanted this. What happens now? Divorce-wise, it's going to be straightforward. Criminal defendants don't have much leverage in civil proceedings. House-wise, she'll need money for lawyers, so she'll agree to sell. You'll get your fair share. She was right. Bethany's new criminal lawyer reached out to Coleman within days. They needed money fast. We agreed to list the house immediately, split the proceeds, and file a simplified divorce agreement. No alimony, clean split, done in 60 days. Bethany pled guilty to tax evasion and PPP loan fraud. Her lawyer got her a deal: 18 months in minimum security, 3 years probation, and she has to pay back everything, plus penalties. The business is gone. The house sold quickly in this market. I used my share to buy a small condo closer to work. The recordings? They never made it into the divorce proceedings. Didn't need to. The criminal case handled everything. My family came around once the truth came out. My mom actually apologized for doubting me. I should have known Bethany was lying, she said. You've never been vindictive. I wasn't being vindictive this time either, I told her. I was just protecting myself. And that's the truth. I didn't set out to destroy Bethany. I just wanted a fair divorce. She's the one who decided to threaten me with recordings, not knowing her own words would damn her. She's the one who committed fraud, thinking she was too smart to get caught. She's the one who escalated at every turn. All I did was refuse to be her victim. Sometimes I think about that moment in the kitchen, when she smugly announced she'd been recording everything. The look on her face when I said, "Me too." She thought she held all the cards. Turns out, she'd been dealing from a marked deck the whole time, and the house always wins when you're playing with fraud. Do I feel bad? Sometimes. 18 months is no joke. But then I remember the wine glass shattering against the wall, the destroyed office, the lies to my boss. I remember her saying I'll burn his shop down about her supplier. She made her choices. I just made sure she faced the consequences. The last I heard, she's teaching jewelry making to other inmates. Maybe when she gets out, she'll run her business legally this time. But that's not my problem anymore.